once again, relocated, but ain't never changing, even with the changes. It's a new episode of the Intelligent Talk Show. I've had some intelligent watch alongs with y'all, but it's been a minute since I've had an intelligent talk show. Even had intelligent predictions, but not an intelligent talk show. So we back, and it's been a while since I had an intelligent talk show with multiple subjects. So we back at that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have the normal talks and everything, but you know what it is, man. Shit that piques my intelligence with a little shit that piques my interest with a little bit of intelligence. And I got a couple of other devices. I still got to get some other things. Soon enough, I will be streaming from Twitch. You know what I'm saying? So we can definitely get that expanded upon. But still got to get a couple of things to get that moving along. Once again, shout out to Avocado for the advice and like when I asked him what to get on it. So when I get on it, we're gonna get on it. But now, no, one thing I just got an extra camera so I can be able to, or extra phone so I can have one phone to track my shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to get my notes. So the first thing we're gonna talk about, man, the last thing we did talk about, was SummerSlam. The road to SummerSlam, and was I right on my predictions or was I right? I practically was damn near right on all my predictions. The only thing I didn't have right was the fact that BB and Jade weren't on the card and they didn't get their tag titles. They got disqualified. No, they won by disqualification because Blair Davenport interfered on Isla and Alba's behalf. And the week after, we still had problems until Naomi came along. So now we see that, on Raw they're going at other teams, Damage Control, which no longer has Asuka and Dakota Kai because she's out with a torn meniscus for 8 to 10 months. Right, fragile Dakota. So it's just now the Sky Pirates of Damage Control being Io Sky and Kairi Sane. So it's gonna be them two versus Shayna and Zoe versus versus Isla and Alba Fire on Raw next week for the tag team championships. And of course, Isla and Alba are going to win the titles because guess what, man? The baddies are getting their belts back. Please believe that. Now that we got Naomi back in the fray and Blair Davenport can't do shit about it. But that was one of the few predictions I had wrong about that being on the card. I said it was gonna be 8 matches on. It was 7 singles matches. I predicted that Liv was gonna win the women's championship or retain the women's championship, and also get Dom or Finn as a bonus prize. Sami Zayn lost the IC title to Braun Breaker in 2 matches. 2 out of 3 falls if you saw the last one. LA Knight's your new United States champion. Nia Jax your new women's champion. She's about to celebrate the win tomorrow because she wasn't there last Friday. And I think I was wrong in her coming back on SummerSlam, but come on. I'm definitely expecting Charlotte to make her return this Friday on SmackDown. I told y'all that Drew was going to win the match between him and Punk with Seth Rollins as the referee because there's going to be some screwy shit happen with Seth and Punk, and Drew was going to get himself involved. That match was probably one of the better matches of the card, along with LA Knight and Logan Paul, one of the most athletic matches on the card. Exactly, it's especially LA Knight and Logan Paul. But no, as far as the dynamic match, the dynamics of the matches, the storylines and everything. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins was definitely one of the most creative matches on the card, especially how it ended. CM Punk going for the Anaconda Vice and tried to get the bracelet out of his hand. Nobody couldn't get it, so Seth Rollins ended up putting it on his wrist. Punk gets agitated about it and gives Rollins the GTS. Ends up costing him the match. Drew wins the match with Punk making a slow count. And Drew Nice feeling validated. He wants the world title shot against against Gunther, who's now the new world heavyweight champion thanks to Finn screwing over Damian. And but Punk ain't done with that nigga. And Seth thought he was gonna get his licks on Punk, but it's a big nasty Australian bastard by the name of Bronson Reed that's tired of being overlooked. So he tsunami'd Seth 6 good times, and now he's out of here. At least until next month. And the Tribal Chief is back, like I predicted as well. But I didn't know because on the predictions video, this was before the last SmackDown of this is like 2 weeks before that. So I think, but this is the SmackDown. This is before I even watched the SmackDown before SummerSlam, and that was when they made it the Bloodline Rules match, and that was when I was like, oh yeah, Roman's coming back for sure. And they did it damn near kind of like WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? You include the Tongans, Tama and Tonga. They come in, and Randy and KO fight them off. Jacob Fatu, he comes in and becomes the Ultimate Factor, try to take them all out. Jacob ends up getting his shin busted for a hot second. He's been wearing a protective boot. They ain't saying how long or how severe his injury is, but he hasn't been back since. But it's only been 1-2 weeks since SummerSlam, and he had that injury. But afterwards, because I definitely knew, because Jacob, after he did the body splash off the top rope to the announce table, we definitely kind of suspected that he was going to also do that moonsault from the top rope, and then Cody's going to kick out instead of Solo going for that top rope body splash, because you don't know Solo to do top rope body splashes. But just added a new move to your arsenal, Solo. But Roman Reigns came back. Superman punched and speared Solo to cost him the championship. Didn't do nothing to Cody, but he said eventually we gonna get that. I'm gonna get that. I'm want my belt back. It's only a matter of time. What I say? Oh yeah. The switch up of the Judgment Day. New Judgment Day. Liv, Finn, Dom, JD, and Carlito. The Terror Twins of the Judgment Day group are no longer in the group. They got exiled. Finn screwed Gunther. Dom screwed Rhea. So at Bash in Berlin, mixed tag team match. Damian and Rhea versus Liv and Dominic. I'm kind of guessing that since they got screwed, they might get the win. But, you know what I'm saying, Finn Balor, Backstabber Balor, that's what he called himself in this new promo. Backstabber Balor is going to be right there for you. So I believe that Finn Balor is going to include himself in this match and have the new Judgment Day, win over the Terror Twins. That's just my quick prediction on that. You know, Damian Priest, as I've said for a minute, has been getting over. Wait. He's been getting over as a tweener champion, and ever since then, since he's been doing so much work, he's been he's kept himself out of the Judgment Day's business. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need me more than I need y'all, and we kind of saw all of this underlying jealousy between him and Finn Balor, but mainly Finn Balor. So the trigger was finally pulled at SummerSlam. Damian had the match won, South of Heaven. Gunther rolled to the side of the ring far enough to where Finn Balor could put Gunther's foot on the rope to break the count. Dame didn't know until the replay happened, which is a smart thing. I like that. He saw the replay and was like, what? Did you? Oh, hell, really? And he was so hell-bent on getting Finn, and not he fought out of a sleeper hold, but he got too distracted on getting Finn that he ultimately lost the match. And even with Liv and Dom, I like how they did that. The first chair, in the match, Rhea was about to pull out a chair, because she kicked out of the Riptide or something, or she's just man, it was great storyline dynamic all the way. The whole thing. Rhea's been going with a bad shoulder or a bad arm, so they played that storyline in the match perfectly. Liv drove her shoulder into the ring post, and Rhea sold the hell out of it. to the point where it looked like for real she dislocated her shoulder. But Rhea, she's like, oh no, I'm not letting this shit take me out. She ran her shoulder into the announce table and popped her shit back in and got back to whooping Liv's ass. It popped out another time and then she ran into the ring. She ran into the shoulder turnbuckle with it. Like, this chick is psychotic. So that was the story they was playing with the shoulder injury. She played it off well. She was about to hit Liv with a chair. And remember, in the beginning of the match, Rhea is coming out with Dom. So she's about to get a chair and take out Liv. Dom's like, what are you doing? Like, if you watch wrestling, it is the usual over the head. I'm about to hit you over the head type swing. And Dom pulled the chair from over it, like, what are you doing? You going to disqualify yourself. You can't win the belt this way. And that was, you on Dom's side in this one. Like, he's right. You can't win the belt this way. And she ends up going for the riptide or something like that. Or if I forgot, but as a matter of fact, yeah, she ended up listening to Dom anyway. And tried to get the W in a decent way. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold up. I'm like, me and my footage having ass. Because like I said, I got 3 different types of things to do now. I got 3 different cameras I can use now. Okay, yeah. She tried to Liv tried to after with Rhea and Dom fighting or arguing about the chair thing and him being rationally right. Liv tried to go for a roll up, bash them into each other, go for a roll up. She kicked out. Dominic went back for the chair again and moved it another way and distracted the referee. And meanwhile, he's telling Liv. She goes for the Oblivion on a steel chair. The referee gets the count. And Dom walks away smiling. Liv walks away with the belt. He picks her up, smacks, gives her a big, wet, juicy kiss on the lips. And man, if you saw my Twitter, that's one of my favorite reactions. My reaction to when Dom got on top of Liv and then she grabbed onto him and wouldn't let go of him. My reaction is like that. You know what I'm saying? When SummerSlam was happening, trust me, I was going to do a live watch along for SummerSlam, but I just moved into this new place, this new location, and a new Live Detroit Live studio location, and it was right on the day of. So after everything got settled, I was too tired, too worn down. I was like, man, fuck it. So, but I watched all of it. So when that happened, I was like, oh shit. But man, it was amazing. So long story short, the SummerSlam was amazing. One of the best electric SummerSlams I've ever seen. I remember I told y'all when I was at SummerSlam last year in 2023, I loved it because it the card is revitalized. It's different type of shit, and it was in my city. It's my first live event ever. But I told y'all I wish I could have went to this one even before it happened. I said I wish I could have went to this one because the card was exciting, man. Everything, the whole card was exciting. The turns, the Judgment Day turns was amazing. The athleticism between LA Knight and Logan Paul was amazing. The shit, Bailey doing a big ass powerbomb on Nia Jax in her match. Great shit. And you know me, I'm a big CM Punk fan. I ain't Punk wasn't back in the WWE at SummerSlam 2023. So I would have loved to see CM Punk, you know what I'm saying, for my first time live. So, man, just that SummerSlam was amazing from top to bottom. Might be one of the top 10 just because of how big it was, the dynamic of it. And then you got your biggest freaking name without a belt back on the roster, Roman Reigns, with one of the biggest pops he ever had in his entire career. The Vince McMahon pop the pop that Vince McMahon so desperately wanted for Roman Reigns but couldn't get. You know what I'm saying? Vince tried to be Mr. McMahon, and it didn't work. It worked for a hot second, but everybody was happy when Roman lost that Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship and Triple H won. So Roman Reigns back as the top babyface without a championship. That pop, man. Golly, man. That pop, that ooh-wah pop like that ooh-wah pop was amazing. I can play that back. You go to WrestleMania 40. Go to WrestleMania 40 when he was going for the spear and it deflected into the three crossroads that got Cody his championship. You go to that ooh-wah. You hear Roman Reigns in that video. Go to his SummerSlam ooh-wah. And even probably his his SmackDown ooh-wah. You don't hear him in that crowd. Like, you hear the crowd loudly. Roman Reigns is officially over as a babyface. Because it's finally something that they can believe in with him. All he had to do was just turn heel. 4 great years of him being a heel. Now you can have him be the hottest babyface for the remainder of his career. But now Bash in Berlin has like 3 matches officially set, with 1 being in the works. Like I said, we have the mixed tag team match between Damien and Rhea versus Liv and Dominic. Like I said, I believe that the Judgment Day is going to help Liv and Dom beat the Terror Twins. They can't, this is going to lead into bad blood, in my opinion. Damien and Finn has got to have a one-on-one. And I think in that sentiment, like in the middle of all of this, the Wyatt Six made their debut, the Raw after SummerSlam, which is an amazing display of, just carrying on that wicked, wild, unorthodox run for cover aspect of wrestling with the Wyatt Six, man. Like that missing element that Bray Wyatt had given us for so long. Taylor Rotunda and the rest of the family are bringing along with that. So we got to see the Wyatt Six in the form of Eric Rowan, the returning Eric Rowan, and Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis versus Chad Gable and his new team, American Made. The Creed brothers, Brutus and Julia, who now also officially has Ivy Nile in the group since after that. But the Wyatt Six, they're done with American Made, because they started off fucking with Chad Gable, and because he turned on Alpha Academy, and got these guys over. So the whole thing about the Wyatt Six, I think they're about taking out groups that are disloyal to the people that brought them in. You know what I'm saying? So it started with Chad Gable, because he fucked over the Alpha Academy, Otis, Maxine, and Akira Tozawa. That was quick work, just quick mind games and quick work. I think the next group that they're going to go against, they ain't targeted them yet, but I do think that the next group will possibly be the Final Testament, because the Final Testament are almost complete in breaking up the New Day. How is that, you ask? Because Kofi Kingston has taken a liking to a new recruit. He was drafted in the 2024 draft, but we ain't seen the motherfucker since he got drafted. Like, who is this dude? But last couple weeks, the AOP, which is a part of the Final Testament, they've been beating the shit out of the New Day. Karrion Kross and the AOP been beating the hell out of the New Day, taking out Kofi Kingston, trying to get Xavier Woods to, like, when you gonna open your eyes? Nobody really respects you in the Judgment, like, in the New Day, all that type of shit. So Kofi Kingston brings along Odyssey Jones. Big, strong, big motherfucker. Carried both. If you've seen the Authors of Pain, you see that these guys are at least about 300 pounds. Odyssey Jones picked both of them up, one by one on each side. Zoop, and dropped them motherfuckers. That's a big sumbitch. Bigger than Big E. And Kofi Kingston has a big liking to him and wants to recruit him into the New Day. Xavier's like, I don't know. I'm glad he's some type of help, but I don't know about that. And plus, Kofi's been he's been jumping into Xavier's beats for a minute. Before Xavier can finish his words, Kofi always try to edge himself in. And this past Monday, Kofi Kofi did it again. Xavier was being talked down by Karrion Kross, saying that it's obvious their boy Kofi's trying to replace Big E with Odyssey, and Xavier was like, "You always think you got to one up. All right, I'll tell you what." Like Kofi said, "No, I'll tell you what. How about it's a 6-man? Let's clear this out right now. 6-man tag team match: Karrion Kross and AOP versus Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Odyssey Jones." And Xavier's like, looking like how I'm looking right now. Just, all right. He barely was New Day Rocks. He barely was on that shit. So we see where it's at. Karrion Kross is going to achieve his goal of having Xavier Woods break up the New Day, because it's clear as day, that Big E ain't coming back no time soon. I've been watching interviews of Big E and wrestling journalists, bloggers that ask him constantly, when is he going to come back? Has he been cleared? And Big E, he goes about that answer with saying that he's grateful for what he's been doing, and he's grateful for what he has ahead of him. He's not thinking about what he's lost and what he won't be able to do, as instead just being grateful for what he is able to do, which is be a panelist at these pre-shows, be an ambassador for the company, making wishes. You know, he can still walk, he can still use his neck, but as far as growing it back tough enough to take bumps, he can't do that. He been to Puerto Rico for stem cell surgery, and it ain't been no good. Like, from the looks of things, you ain't got no good news. So the New Day, after 10 full years of consistency, positive power, Bootios and unicorns, even cereal, they're about to break up because the biggest member is no longer able to be agile. So next week, the New Day will be officially over, thanks to the Final Testament. And the Final Testament will pay their sins via the Wyatt Six. Xavier's going to have to pay. Karrion Kross is going to have to pay. Scarlett's going to pay too, because guess what? Abby the Witch ain't worried about your ass. And the AOP, yeah, Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis ain't that big, but what you going to do with a big ass rambling rabbit with a red beard? Karrion, you think you know fear? You don't know shit about fear until you met the Wyatt Six. So he think he's going to complete his journey from breaking up the New Day. But the Wyatt Six is going to be like, you manipulative, backstabbing son of a bitch. And Xavier, you ain't no better. So the Final Testament is going to get theirs next. And then we'll see the Wyatt Six attack the Judgment Day. Because we see what they're doing. You seen what happened? They broke up the two most successful people in the Judgment Day. The only world champions in the group, Damian and Rhea. Finn Balor's jealous because he couldn't win the championship and hold it for longer than 24 hours. Couldn't beat him. Couldn't beat Seth Rollins to get the world championship. Mad that your boy became the El Campeon, cashing in Money in the Bank. And because he wants to do it on his own, and y'all can watch from the sidelines and support me, you got jealous. Dom thinks he's a man now, but you want to have tendies and play video games. That ain't what men do. You worried about, you mad because of you got to call a man mommy. You was the one that was getting leg choked up by the bitch. You couldn't beat Ray. You had somebody that could distract you to get your ways, and you still couldn't beat Ray with Rhea. And that was her point. It's like, I wanted you to beat him by yourself, but no, you had to have a tag team match. Zelina Vega, and you had to have Zelina Vega and Liv involved. You couldn't beat Dom. You couldn't beat Ray by yourself. You had to have Liv to help you. One-on-one, you couldn't beat the man. So you still mad about that. You can't be a man. You want a little boy, you want to still be a little boy to have somebody validate you as a man, to feed you chicken tendies and let you play the PS5 when you're supposed to be grabbing gold. The only gold that Dominic has been had since he's been part of the Judgment Day is the North American NXT Championship. NXT. He hasn't even won tag team gold yet. After breaking out of his pops, because that's the only tag team titles he won was with his dad. Only main roster championships he's won was the tag team championships, SmackDown tag team championships. He ain't won a main roster belt since. So they think they're justifying what they're doing to Damian and Rhea, but no. Damian and Rhea was doing exactly right. So sooner or later, the Wyatt Six will hunt for the Judgment Day. You saw that promo. I'm saying all that because Bo Dallas said in that promo something big is happening. So Judgment Day, they're going to get theirs a little bit soon. You would have thought that they was going to go after Damage Control because you saw the sign behind Dakota Kai in her little one promo when they was going after the Pure Force Collective. The stud line. You saw the sign, the Wyatt Six sign behind her head. But Dakota Kai, like I said, she's out with a torn meniscus for 8 to 6 months. Asuka's been out of action since they lost the tag titles to Bianca and Jade. So Damage Control only has 2 people. You know, you lose your member Bailey, who was the main chick and a part of the 3-man group. Io Sky adds Asuka and Kairi Sane into the group. That makes it a 5-man group. Kick out Bailey, that's a 4-man group. Lose the title, lose the tag titles, lose Asuka, now it's a 3-man group. Dakota Kai, your only person that can speak English is now it's only a duo. The Sky Pirates, not even Damage Control no more. So you thought that you thought the Wyatt Six was going to go after them. They took themselves out. So Judgment Day after Final Testament. So American Made was first, Final Testament's next, Judgment Day is definitely in line. And then, oh man. Wait till they go against the Bloodline. The fake ass Bloodline. The Wyatt Six versus the Bloodline? That means Nia Jax's gonna have to fuck around and be a part of this Bloodline. Because who's sister app? No, maybe not. But just think about it. Solo, Jacob, Tama, and Tonga versus Bo, Eric, Gacy, and Loomis. That's like the Shield versus the Wyatt family Elimination Chamber 2014 all over again. Nothing but chaos, brutality, and I'm going to be there for it. That shit ain't going to probably happen until late 2025 or early 2026 because Triple H is about long-term storytelling. And we got to see how this whole Bloodline story is going to work. Right now, we're getting into the cusp of who is the tribal chief, who appointed Solo as the tribal chief when Roman is back as the original tribal chief. Roman's trying to go for the belt. You're pretty sure we're going to see that he's like, Now, after Bad Blood, we don't know what's next. Survivor Series is going to be in Vancouver. But that's probably like that. Survivor Series is a Thanksgiving traditional pay-per-view. So it's going to be at the end of November. Bad Blood is on October 5th. So will they do like a long gap in between then? Or will we have another Saudi pay-per-view before Survivor Series? And I think if there is going to be a Saudi pay-per-view or Riyadh pay-per-view or PLE, then I think that's where Roman and Cody's going to have their third match. Even though it should be at WrestleMania because their first 2 matches were at WrestleMania. But, the money's going to flood in to have their third match, their trilogy match, at a Saudi event. And that's when the Bloodline's going to come in. And I believe that's when The Rock is going to say, I made Solo the tribal chief. You lost that distinction when you lost to Cody Rhodes. So, that's that on that. 30 minutes in the WWE. Like I said, I have more than one subject to talk about. So with that being the case, we're going to get into the next note. So last time we talked before, was on predictions and things like that. The Olympics popped off. The Olympics are, officially at a close. Paris 2024, great Olympic Games. We saw some amazing things happen. I took the distinct honor in knowing that 50 Black Americans left with gold medals. I got a full ass list of all the gold medalists that that left that left Paris with gold medals. A full on list, and I'm gonna shout them out right now because it's just an amazing accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Bam Adebayo, Team USA basketball. Chris Bailey in the track and field 4x4 meters. Rye Benjamin in the 4x4 and 400 meter hurdles. Corey Bethune in soccer. Simone Biles, you know who she is. Devin Booker from G-Rap. Kaylin Brown in the 4x400. Leah Butler in the 4x400. Jordan Childs, she got her gold. Fuck them hoes that got your bronze. You're going to get it back in 2028 for sure. Naphesia Collier in women's basketball. Kalea Copper in women's basketball. Chef fucking Curry. Crystal Dunn in soccer. Anthony Davis, AD. Tara Davis Woodhall, long jump. Bryce Dedman in the 4x400 meters. KD, Ant-Man, Embiid. Naomi Gurman, football. Chelsea Gray, basketball. Brittany Griner. Halliburton. Quincy Hall, 16 years old, 400 meters. Quinera Hayes, 4x400. Drew Holiday. Grant Holloway in 110 meters. Alexa Holmes at the 4x400. King James with his third gold medal. Melissa Jefferson in the 4x100 meters. Casey Kruger, football. Shamir Little, 4x400 meters. Jewel Lloyd in basketball. Noah Lyles. You're going to learn one day, boy. Anyway, Sydney McLaughlin-LaFrance for 400 hurdles and a 4x400 meters. Vernon Norwood, 4x400 meters. Fucking Sha'Carri Richardson. You know what she is. Hesley Rivera, shout out to her. Trinity Rodman, daughter of Dennis Rodman. Football. Yeah, soccer. Messiah Russell, WWE NIL signee. Also, women's 100 hurdles. Lauren Scruggs, oh my goodness. Second Black woman to get a gold medal in fencing. Jaden Shaw in football. Jason Tatum, basketball. You already know. TT Twanisha, 4x100 meters. Alyssa Thomas in basketball. Gabby Thomas, 200 meters and 4x100 meters. Derek White. Asia Wilson. Quincy Wilson for 4x400 meters. And Jackie Young in basketball. 50 Black people got gold medals, man. That's just an amazing accomplishment. I had to say all of their names because, like, dude, 50 states, 50 black people walked away with gold medals, and some of them walked away with more than just one in their region. You know what I'm saying? Simone Biles, she had like 3 gold medals. Whoa. I'm gonna go for the people that got more than just one medal. Rye Benjamin, he got 2 gold medals. Simone Biles, she has 3 gold medals for individual, for the team, and in the vault. Cindy McLaughlin, she got 2 for the hurdle, for the 400 meter hurdles and the 4x400 meters. And Gabby Thomas got 2 for the 200 meters and the 4x100 meters with Sha'Carri. That's just an amazing thing, man. Like, and the stats said it was like 65% of the medalists in the USA was women. All ethnicities women. So that's an amazing thing too. I think this is the first time that the Olympics had like this sports for both. The sport was you could be gender both genders could be available for both teams, like for whatever sport. Feel me? So that's great accomplishment for the USA. Of course, we had the most medals out of every country, tied with China for the most gold medals with 40. And just an amazing thing. The games I saw, like the USA games versus France, man, the men's game was exciting to see. France tried to come back. They tried to come back, but Steph just put them to sleep. And the women's game was, oh gosh, that was a nail biter, a fucking nail biter. So thanks to Kalea Copper, not Cooper, Copper, two P's, not two O's. So Kalea Copper, she saved the game by driving the lane and eating those fouls up and going to the line. Because Gabby Williams was shooting the shit out that bitch. And if her line wasn't on, and if her foot wasn't on that 3-point line, like KD when he played the Bucks when he was with the Nets, it would have been overtime, and they might have would have got that bitch. Oh God! But the women's basketball team, most successful Olympic team in history with 8 straight gold medals. They've been winning gold since women's basketball has been in the sport. And shoot, that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? I had to check a list because I'd forgot that Devin Booker was from Grand Rapids. He was up and down Paris wearing the Detroit hat all the time. And I'm like, what? You don't wear a Detroit hat? Or Detroit Tigers hat. So I looked his name up, found out he's from Grand Rapids. I was like, oh, okay then. You got the right to wear a Detroit hat all the way in Paris. And that made me wonder, who else from Michigan, not just Detroit, who from Michigan have won a gold medal for the Olympics? Not FIBA and the other shit, for the Olympics. So I ran down that list, and it's a small one, but it's a good one. You got Devin Booker, who's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. You got Henry Carr. I should have wrote down their names too, because should have wrote down their sport, what they did. You got Henry Carr. You got some. One name that got me was amazing. Eddie Crook Jr. He won gold in the 1960 Olympics. In boxing, guess who his partner was? The greatest of all time. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Y'all may call him Clay, but I call him Muhammad Ali. Yep. And I checked this whole background, like Eddie Crook Jr. He won gold with Ali. Well, how come I never heard of this man's name or none of his history? He didn't have a boxing resume. He doesn't have a boxing career. He served in the army after he won that gold medal, the Vietnam War. And you know Ali's stance, no Viet Cong ever called me nigga before. So Eddie Crook did what Ali didn't. He fought in the war, got some Purple Hearts and things of that nature. And that's just the legacy in itself. But Eddie Crook Jr., he is from Detroit. So you got 2 Detroit gold medalists so far, you know what I'm saying? You got Draymond Green from Saginaw, of course. He got 2 gold medals playing for basketball. You got Spencer Haywood. He reps the D. He moved to Detroit around his high school years. But if you know Spencer Haywood, if you're a basketball fan, he is a Laker that won a championship with the Lakers around the time with Kareem and then was fucking shit up. So he won a gold medal for us. You got, of course, Magic Johnson from East Lansing representing Michigan State. He won a gold medal with us with the Dream Team. You got Hayes Jones. You got JaVale and Pamela McGee. Mama and son. JaVale McGee, he won the Olympic gold medal in 2020. A little bit after he won some championships sitting on the sidelines with the Golden State Warriors and shit. But Pamela McGee, his mom's, also won a gold medal in the Olympics. Can't forget about Clarissa Shields. She won a gold medal in 2012. I believe that was in Rio. You got Frank Tate. Once again, he's from Detroit, but I should have put down what they did. You know what I'm saying? I got to look up what they did. I can't remember all of them. You have a Quincy Watts from 1992 from Detroit who won a gold medal. She claims Michigan, but, from Laundry down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena. Compton claims her too. But nonetheless, you got Serena Williams, 3-time gold medalist. Her sister is more likely born in is born in Compton. They moved to Compton, you know what I'm saying? But Serena, she's born in Michigan, so you can count her as well. 3-time Olympic gold medalist. And you also have Lorenzo Wright, 1948. I didn't even name. If I didn't name down all the years, forgive me. But that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15 gold medalists coming out of Michigan, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them coming out of Detroit. And that's another thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this a little bit before I go into what breaks my buffs, because it's been a while since I talked about what broke my buffs. But before I get into what breaks my buffs, and this kind of breaks my buffs a little bit, but it doesn't. Like I said, one of the most dynamic Olympics I've seen, and entertaining as hell too. You know, Snoop Dogg being a U.S. ambassador and all that shit, one of the greatest things. Seeing Simone Biles clear out her routines and some of the fun things, one of the funnest things I've seen. Like not even fun, just an exciting thing to see us excel. I watched the swim team. I watched the women and men's swim games. I watched I watched a couple. I can't remember everything that I watched, but I made sure I went to CNBC, NBC, and USA to see what games was on, especially if it was involving my people. But if it was USA, I was interested. But you know what I'm saying? I saw an interview. Bobby Fink, shout out to Bobby Fink, Olympic gold medalist of the swim team, and he was getting interviewed by Nightcap, Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson, Ocho. And they just gave him a nice little 30-minute interview, congratulating him and, you know, just going through his career prior to winning the Olympic gold medal. And at the end of the interview, they gave bro a $50,000 check. Now, he took that with all graciousness, like disbelief, like, you know, just ecstatic and just, you know, humbled that he could get such a big amount of check from two of the biggest football players in the league. And the average mind would probably think, you just won an Olympic gold medal. You should be getting this type of money all the time. Here's the thing. If you, like, you know, you drive down to certain cities, small cities, and you see, like, certain, like, you know, welcome to such and such city, home of Olympic gold medalists, such and such, or home of 2000's Miss America, such and such. You know what I'm saying? They'll get, like, you'll see the name and be like, oh, she came from here, or they came from here. That's the biggest that some of these Olympians get. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a big name, if you're not a brand, if you ain't made a brand off of your name, like straight up big brand off your name, with a household name, where people see you and you ain't gotta, when people see you and they look at you like, oh, instead of, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference, a real big difference between ain't you, instead of oh. It's a big difference in that aspect. So people like Bobby Fink, I don't know where he's from. I don't know what city he's from in the United States or what state he's from, but I'm sure that Bobby Fink is one of those guys that when you enter his city, it's going to be a little sign under that big sign that says, welcome to such and such. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm going to look him up. I'm going to look up Bobby Fink. Where is Bobby Fink from? Gotta ask Gemini. And it take too long too. Tampa, Florida. Is this the same Bobby Fink that I'm talking about? Where is Olympic swimmer Bobby Fink from? Because that's with one K. Like E.
Bobby Fink is from Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay. All right. It's anyway, so you're gonna go like Tampa, Florida, home of the Buccaneers, where Tom Brady won a championship at, home of the Tampa Bay Rays, Tampa Bay Lightning champions, all this type of stuff. So under all, like, so you leave a small city out in Florida and enter Tampa. There's gonna be that big. There's gonna be that one little big sign that says "Welcome to Tampa, home of Bobby Fink, Olympic gold medalist." That's the type of fame that Bobby Fink gets. That's the type of fame that if you ain't got no, like if you ain't Carissa Shields knocking bitches out, if you ain't Magic Johnson, made not only your city, your college, and the NBA relevant. If you ain't made a brand out of yourself, Noah Lyles, big enough to people look at you and say, I want your autograph. I want you to sign this, that, and the third. I read some shit about him too. From like I didn't hear it, but I read it from Shannon Sharp. I don't know if he said it on the show, but yeah, Noah Lyles think he is the shit. He walk around like his shit don't stink because he is a world champion Olympic runner, Olympic sprinter. Pissed off at Adidas because Ant-Man, not a world NBA champion, but he is known throughout the world because everybody knows Anthony Edwards for the last 2 years, been dunking on niggas, big, small, OG, rookie, don't give a fuck. Ant-Man has been making his name by being one of the coldest basketball players in the world. Noah Lyles only shows up every few months for a track and field show. And he thinks those little victories on the track, because he's world champion, that should get him a bigger deal on Adidas? What type of backwards thinking are you on? Because you're a world champion, you should have a bigger deal? Noah Lyles, wherever you're from, you're that motherfucker when that big ass city, wherever city you come from, you're that little ass tag underneath that says home of Olympic runner, track runner, Noah Lyles. That's what you are. Anthony Edwards is definitely, with the trajectory of his career, trajectory of the season, whether he stays on the Timberwolves or not, wherever he goes, he's going to win the championship. Within a span of 5 to 10 years, he's going to win a championship. World championship. NBA world championship, which you claim is not the world because it's only involved around the States. Well, guess what, bitch? The whole world watches this shit. Why do you think international basketball is up the way it is? Because everybody from every country is looking like America is where you got to be to prove that you're the best in the world when it comes to the NBA. That's why you say world champions in the NBA, because eventually more people from around the world, Nikola Jokic, Luka, Dylan Brooks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Patty Mills. Nigga, the shit started with the goddamn Dream Team. Vlade Divac. God damn it, man. That's why it's called world champion in the NBA. Because everyone from around the world come to the NBA to prove that we're the best. Yeah, it represents one city in the goddamn, it represents one city in the state in the US, but not everybody lives Noah. Do I have to explain this type of shit to you? I shouldn't have to explain this to you. Just because you're a great runner and has beaten a lot of fast motherfuckers don't mean that you are known throughout the world as the greatest. Michael Johnson, he was the fastest motherfucker in the world in 96. But he won't run around asking for a fuck. Was he with Nike? I don't know. If Michael Johnson was with Nike, he wasn't bitching about the fact that Michael Jordan was selling more shoes than him because he's a world champion Olympic runner and I got a gold shoe. No, Michael Johnson knew his role. He knows that, hey, I had a big moment and I'm going to capitalize off of that. And he stretched the hell out of it because I remember when they just did at the end of this Olympic ceremony, you passed the flag, the Olympic flag, from where it was held to where it's about to be held. The next Olympics in 2028 will be in Los Angeles, California. So they did this whole montage with once he did what he did and drove out that bitch to the motorcycle, I knew it was all TV after that. But then I thought, God damn, Snoop left before the shit was over with. Because Tom Cruise came from Paris and jumped off the top of that little thing got the flag, drove a motorcycle out the joint to a big ass airplane and parachuted his ass in 3 minutes from Paris to fucking California. To where the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Billie Eilish, and Snoop Dogg performed at a beach in LA or Long Beach. So I'm like, oh hell no. But I lost my fucking point, man. You can hear that's what break my bus. That ain't even the shit that break my bus. But man, just like my whole thing, I broke off into a whole tangent without just getting to the point that, you know what I'm saying, if you ain't got a big name, Olympians ain't got that big of a fame. If you're not a basketball player that's been around the world winning championships or winning awards and just being a household name, if you ain't been having that type of generation, like the women's soccer team, the women's basketball team, the men's basketball team, it's only a certain people in the track and field business that made a name for themselves. It's only a certain people in the gymnastics group that made a name for themselves. Simone Biles, Jordan Childs, Sha'Carri Richardson. That's it. The rest of these Olympians, they ain't making no name, they ain't making no brands out of their names. You know what I'm saying? Quincy Hall, Hesley Rivera, they 16 years old. They ain't got no, like, you know, unless they got some megalomaniac parents that's trying to, you know, maximize off of what they got. But you get what I'm saying, man? Most of these Olympians, Kurt Angle, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Kurt Angle, 1996 Olympic gold medalist. Won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck. But back then, he wasn't Kurt Angle. He was just regular ass he was a regular ass amateur wrestler, Kurt Angle, coming out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I think it was an interview he read, like I saw from him, and he said that when I won the gold medal, it didn't run, like, you know, it's only for so long that he milked that opportunity to get some type of money endorsements from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Remember that promo that The Rock did in 2001 on Kurt Angle before he was about to fight for the WWF Championship? And Kurt was in his hometown, and The Rock just pulled out a local ass promo of Kurt in his Olympic tracksuit, not like, you know, just like the Olympic jumpsuit, for a local pizza restaurant. Like, not Pizza Hut, not Domino's, Papa John's wasn't popping in. You know what I'm saying? It was some local ass pizza joint. With him, like, you know, like the fucking toppings were wrestling each other. And you can see how locally CGI made this shit was, bro. So in 96, from 96 to 2000, Kurt Angle wasn't getting no type of bread off the Olympics. The Olympic Committee wasn't paying him like, thank you for serving our country and winning gold medals. No, that's not how that shit goes. So if you ain't made a name for yourself outside of winning an Olympic gold medal, if you ain't made a brand for yourself for talking your shit, doing whatever you done, Sha'Carri Richardson, she had to deal with beats after she had to make she made a big ass name for herself since 2021 when she got disqualified for the Olympics for smoking weed. We stayed attached to her story. Sponsors came across from her. Dr. Dre said, hey, I'll give you such amount of money if you wear my headphones. And you've been seeing her in commercials like that. You know what I'm saying? And she making money off of that. Noah Lyles ain't do that. If Noah Lyles was smart, he would have done that. But he didn't. He bitching to Adidas while Ant-Man got a bigger contract for a shoe than he does. But you ain't done nothing bigger than talk shit on podiums, talk about I'm the best in the world. Oh man, that breaks my bucks. So yeah, Olympians don't get that type of love if you ain't made a bigger name of yourself. If you ain't attached to a bigger brand or you ain't made a name for yourself, you're not gonna get that much of a big deal. That's why I was crazily excited when I saw that Marcel Russell, the black chick that got a gold medal for the hurdles, she's about to be signed to WWE. She has a WWE NIL deal. So that means they recruited her for somewhere down the line. We might see her on NXT Level Up or something if she's that good. Because remember, Gable Steveson and the other black chick that won a gold medal in 2021, they were supposed to be WWE superstars. Takea, I forgot if I'm saying her name wrong, I apologize. But Takea, we didn't even see her do any type of thing. Gable Steveson, they tried it and they didn't like it because they tried to Jason Jordan his ass in the game, damn near. But, in a real way. Gable Steveson, a real Olympic gold medalist, they tried to parlay that into a wrestling career, and it just didn't work. Gable did not have it in him. They put him in the match with Baron Corbin, and everybody was cheering Baron Corbin on how because of how trash Gable Steveson was. So they was like, we ain't even gonna take our chance with the old girl. If you want to leave, you can leave. And this was Vince's idea. So this is under Vince's ruling. I ain't gonna say it was his idea because maybe Triple H probably saw something in it. But Masai Russell, fine as hell. Look her up. Masai Russell. Look her up. She fine as hell. And we got a lot of black fine baddies in the WWE, even in the Level Up joint. That chick, that NXT Next Up that series that they had on Tubi, WWE Tubi. That black chick, I'm waiting to see her pop up on the joint. But I remember she does have she has some type of medical issue. So but nonetheless, man, there's some baddies, black baddies in the WWE. And Adam Masai Russell, a real legit athlete like her, gold medalist athlete like her. Anyway, make a name for yourself and don't think that a gold medal is going to parlay into, or any type of medal is going to parlay into your stardom. Because I bet you this. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Childs, for the next 4 years, she's about to be one of the biggest names next to Simone Biles in the Olympics. Because Jordan, her personality just sprouts out. And she's from Oregon, but she moved to LA, so she moved to Cali. She went to UCLA for college when she was doing her gymnastics. That's where she mastered. That's where she became a part of the Olympic team while she was in UCLA. And so having that little Cali attitude about her, just ooh wee, your mama Latino and your daddy black. She has a lot, she displays both of that Latina spunk and that black sniffs about her. You know what I'm saying? And shit, I think she's the one that came up with the name for the gymnastics team. Team F around and find out. You know what I'm saying? I think she's the one that came up with that. Not Simone. Jordan came up with that. And it's crazy that her birthday is the same day as my mama's. I was like, so I love Aries babies. So, bottom line, man, Jordan Childs, she's gonna be one of those people that, take that, she's gonna build up her game. She's gonna build up her game for sure. She's gonna make sure that the little mistakes that she did make in the Olympics that got her the bronze, that was stripped away from her, she's gonna make sure she parlays that into a gold medal. But in the meantime, she's gonna be one of the most spontaneous, outspoken, and prettiest faces in Olympics, just because we have so much love for her that we want to see her rise to the top, and her face is just gonna be popping up, man. I got all my votes and love on Jordan Childs, man. I'm telling you that right now. She gets all the respect in the world from me. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Childs is 24 years old now. Simone is 27. So fast forward into 2028. Simone's going to be 31, and she still intends to be in the Olympics. So I'm definitely believing that she's going to be player/coach, because 31 years old in the Olympics, she's going to still try to do this shit. She might be a part of I don't know if she'll do the vault, some of that shit, because at the end of the games, I must talk about passing the Olympic flag and shit. Simone Biles, she had on a protective foot. She was standing next to the mayor of LA when they handed it over. So, and the mayor of LA handed it over to goddamn Tom Cruise. But no, Simone, she was next to the mayor of LA, a female black mayor at that. But Simone had on a protective boot because she did injure her calf in one of those routines when she was going for it. So at 31 years old, Simone, I would definitely see her as a player coach. She would do I would definitely probably see her doing the all around women's team and individual. But I don't see her hitting that vault just because it's too heavy on her. Like, man. But she'll be the player coach, and Jordan is gonna be the leader. She's gonna be the main leader of the group at 27 years old. And trust me, she's gonna steal the show once again. So that's my take on that. Like I said, great Olympics. Congratulations to all of the gold medal winners, all of the medalists that come out of USA. But sue me, I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Speaking of, this is what breaks my bus. We're going to stay on the Olympics, but this is what breaks my bus. This is what broke everybody's bus, but for me, for a different reason. The last couple of days of the Olympics, we got to saw something historic in the culture for the Olympics. We got to see the debut of breaking. Breakdancing is officially an Olympic sport. And like I said, it's gender neutral. That was the word I was kind of looking for when I was talking about that shit. I think that was what it was. Gender neutral. So B-boys and B-girls enter a tournament to see who's the best B-boy or B-girl in the world. The best B-boy, B-girl wins a gold medal. You know what I'm saying? Because there's like, if you haven't seen it, people been asking, how do you qualify for a breakdancing competition? I see. I ain't seen all the blogs, but you know what I'm saying? Chisel the Don talked about it. Like a lot of people, like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I heard a lot of people talk about it. And I've even thought this shit. You can find a Joe Blow in the middle of the street or at a rap concert or at any type of anything hip hop orientated and find a random motherfucker that you may not have known or that you do know that could break a fucking bust a move on a cardboard, spin on their head and do all that type of shit. So how do you qualify for that? You have to qualify by being involved in certain competitions that involve breakdancing. You know what I'm saying? Those Red Bull competitions that you see in the video, that you see on YouTube, stuff like that. You had to win those type of qualifying joints. You know what I'm saying? There are competitions for breakdancing. And it's not just breakdancing, breakdancing is involved, but, you have these dance competitions and you put your breaking moves into it. All right, then that qualifies you, and then you keep doing this consistently. That's what qualifies you to be an Olympic breakdancer. So, in that sentiment, you had women and men on both ends. Now, on America's side, you had 2 women and 2 men. Neither one of them are black, and neither one of them was from the state that hip hop originated breakdancing from. So that was the thing that pissed me off. I can give a fuck less about Ray Gun and her kangaroo moves. The bitch was 35 years old. She couldn't do that spinning on her head shit. And on top of that, y'all showing the fact that was her last routine. Of course, she was tired, old, and her knees was about to break. So all she could do was that whole shit. I saw Jimmy Fallon, everybody, they playing that whole shit back when she just did the that shit on that wiggly worm shit on the floor. Everybody was doing that shit. And the kangaroo shit, because she's from Australia. But even before then, and her sets before then, they weren't no better, but they was better than that shit. But the bottom line was, I give a fuck less about that. Fuck that shit. Wasn't nobody in the U.S., damn being black, not one New Yorker, not one South Bronx, South Bronx. Man, matter of fact, yeah, man, I'm like, where's y'all at? Like, dude, I gotta, Nick, where's the song at? Where's the fucking song at? I got to play it now. Cause that shit pissed me off, man. Like, nigga, hip hop started in the fucking Bronx. It started in 1973. Started out in the park. Cool Herc came in through the game and fucked shit up, man, with them big ass speakers and them turntables, god damn it. And it just breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. It's 5 elements to hip hop. Knowledge, that's the hidden element, because niggas don't give a fuck about knowledge. MCing, DJing, graffiti, and breaking. Breaking, man. And that just breaks my fucking heart to see that Bronx did not get involved in this shit, dude. Because if it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap shit probably never would be going on, bro. Tell him again, Lord Tariq.
Now, if it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap shit probably never would be going on. So tell me where you from.
Where was these niggas from? Nah, I can give respect to like Logistics and Sonny. Much love to these girls. And the Jabberwockies was even one of the coaches of the USA breaking team. And if you know about the Jabberwockies, you know they ain't no hoes. And even some of the members of Super Crew is part of the Jabberwockies. If you heard of the Super Crew, if you saw America's Best Dance Crew, the Jabberwockies and Super Crew is almost kind of the same. Not the same, but some niggas from the Super Crew got recruited from the Jabberwockies because Jabberwockies include everything from the ticking, the pop locking, and the breakdancing. So they was coaches, if I'm not mistaken. One of them was the coach for the USA breaking team. And Logistics was cool. Logistics was the youngest one. She did her thing. I'm mad that she kind of lost to old girl from Lithuania. She was nice. She was nice because, man, they got that battle up on NBC Sports. The battle between, what was her name? I forgot her name, but the 16-year-old chick from Lithuania, she was just gonna go on to her heart gave out because she was the one I think that she won second place. But she was just gonna break it. She was just dancing till her heart went out. The chick with the one with the do-rag. But Logistics was nice. And Sonny was okay, but Sonny was 30 something too. She was in her mid-30s, 33 years old. So she couldn't do the same, she couldn't keep doing the same shit. She was gonna get old and rusty and eventually get wiped out. So none of the US women made it past the round robin to even make it to the tournament. And I think the Japanese chick won. And I've been said that I said that before the tournament even started. I said the Japanese gonna fuck around and win. Anybody from Asia, whether you're Filipino, Japanese, Japan, shit, them Ukrainian chicks was fired too. Both of them. No, not both of them. It was one of them. I think the one that wore the Kango, the smallest, like the one that wore the Kango. She had like a ballerina type breaking style too. I like that. See, that's the thing. But bottom line, wasn't no black New Yorkers representing the USA in the breakdancing in the breaking competition. That's what pissed me off the most. New York is what started this whole shit. If it wasn't for New York, if it wasn't for South Bronx breaking this shit open in nobody from the 5 boroughs, not Brooklyn, Manhattan, not Queens, not even Staten Island could get the. It breaks my heart that the biggest thing to come out of New York is going to jail. The biggest potential to come out of New York just twerks her ass. She just had an album out called Y2K. And she looks like a fucking NFT shaking her ass. She don't even have no emotion shaking her ass. She fine as hell, but she just has she has no emotion shaking her ass. Shaking like jelly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, New York had no representation in that breaking shit, and it hurt my heart. California, Florida, and goddamn Tennessee were the represented states for the breaking competition, and that just hurt my heart. And I think we had an opportunity to win a medal, but we didn't, because I think it was 2 dudes that represent USA, but the one that made it to the tournament, the one dude that made it to the tournament in the men's breaking competition, he was in his mid-30s, so he had some shit, but he was getting a little old and rusted too. So it breaks my heart that the youth of hip hop is not adapting to the original 5 elements of hip hop. No black youth. That hurts, man. That hurts. And it like what? I'm on Threads too. Follow me on Threads. I'm gonna get my account back activated tomorrow because I put up my little video on Instagram about my Black Olympians. It's on my story. Check my shorts. Check my short right now about the Black Americans that won the gold medals this year. They ain't take it down on there, but they took it down on Instagram. The IOC was like, "Hey, we don't like you taking our footage," and Instagram got me banned from Tuesday to tomorrow on Instagram and Threads. And Threads is what I was getting my links up on, man. Follow me on Threads, y'all. The most positive social media platform today. Fuck Twitter, fuck Instagram, fuck Facebook. They all been jaded. Threads is the hot, new, naive social media platform. So, yeah. I'm going to get my account back on them tomorrow. But, yeah, I put that joint up. They was hating on me. But yeah, dog. You needed that black representation for breakdancing. And from what I saw, like I was about to say, that it ain't coming back next year. Like what? So now that the Olympics is coming back to the USA, they took breakdancing out because I doubt it. Now the chick that I was asking about the breakdancing, she was knowledgeable, so I wouldn't put it past her to say that they canceled it, but I would definitely petition to bring it back. I would petition to bring back the breakdancing competition. Only if there is a dedicated New Yorker or group of New Yorkers that's willing to pay back what's been wronged in the last Olympics. That's all. I will petition to bring back the breaking in Olympics if there is a group of New Yorkers that's like, fuck this shit, we about to run through all these competitions till the Olympics have no choice to put us in the group, to put us on the team. You know what I'm saying? That's what breaks my bubs. I can give a fuck about what y'all thought of it. My thought was, why there weren't no New Yorkers? Not one New Yorker to represent hip-hop in the breakdancing competition. Other than that, it was a great thing, man. Just that everybody's a fucking critic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be a critic. You know, Jimmy Fallon did that shit to get the views because everybody knows that everybody was like, you know, everybody was just complaining about the Australia chick. She was 35 years old, bitch. What the fuck you expect? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm glad to be back talking with y'all, man. And I'm gonna try to keep stuff going. Like I say, we got like look, the road to Bad Blood. It's gonna be a crazy thing, you know. Bash in Berlin is on August 31st. I didn't mention that when I was talking about wrestling from SummerSlam going on to Bad Blood. Oh no, I did say Bash in Berlin is gonna be August 31st, and then Bad Blood is on October 5th. So you know, I'm looking forward to the road to Bad Blood because Bash in Berlin ain't gonna be where this ends at. You know what I'm saying? And it's a couple more weeks. Till we get talking about these guys. You know what I'm saying? About 2-3 more weeks until kickoff. And we could prove to the NFL that last year was not a fluke. We're coming for the NFC Championship. We're coming for that Lombardi. And we're coming for niggas' kneecaps. Please believe. But until that time, I'm out this bitch like newborn puppies, man. Enjoy y'all week. I'm gonna get back to, like I said, I'm gonna get back on Threads, and we gonna be talking our shit, man. Just trying not to get banned from the Olympic Committee again. All right, peace.